Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news. All right, Bears fans, buckle up because we're about to dive into some exciting, potentially franchise-altering news that's been buzzing around the NFL circles lately. And trust me, what's happening right now could set the tone for the Bears' future for years to come. The offseason has been nothing short of aggressive for Chicago, with GM Ryan Poles making some bold moves to turn this team back into a true playoff contender. No more rebuilding, no more just hoping for the best. The Bears are clearly aiming high, and they're making strategic moves that show they're serious about competing at the highest level. Let's start by reflecting on what the Bears have already done this offseason. Ryan Poles has been busy, bringing in key players to bolster both sides of the ball. The offensive line, which was a major area of concern last season, has been revamped with some smart additions. That's crucial because protecting Justin Fields and giving him the time and space to operate is the top priority now. The front office also added some weapons for Caleb Williams, should they land the highly touted quarterback prospect in the upcoming draft, or even to support Fields if he remains the guy. But today, I want to focus on something that might seem a little unexpected but could be a game changer: the potential addition of Kayvon Thibodeaux to the Bears' already talented defense. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. A trade for a young pass rusher like Thibodeaux? That sounds bold, right? But if you really analyze the current landscape of the NFL, you'll see why this makes a ton of sense, not just for the Bears but for the Giants as well. Bleacher Report recently threw out a pretty intriguing idea. They suggested that the New York Giants should consider trading Kayvon Thibodeaux, their former top 5 pick, to Chicago in exchange for a 3rd and 5th round pick in 2026. On the surface, it might seem like a bold move, but when you dig a little deeper, it actually makes sense on multiple levels. Let's break down why this potential trade is so appealing for both teams. The Giants, for example, have just invested their 2025 first-round pick into Penn State's Abdul Carter, a young edge rusher who's been turning heads in camp and preseason. Carter looks like the future of their pass rush, and with Thibodeaux already entering his 3rd year, the Giants might see him more as a luxury rather than a necessity. They've already picked up Thibodeaux' 5th-year option, which indicates they believe in his potential, but they're also aware that his value might be at its peak right now, and that they can afford to cash in to help rebuild other parts of their roster. From the Bears' perspective, this isn't about patching a desperate hole on the defensive line. It's about elevating an already solid foundation into something elite. Imagine adding Kayvon Thibodeaux to a defense that already features Montez Sweat and Dayo Odeyingbo. Suddenly, you have one of the most versatile, disruptive fronts in the entire league. And we haven't even mentioned rookie Austin Booker, who's been tearing up the preseason with his relentless energy and pass-rushing ability. The Bears are building a defensive line that can threaten offenses from multiple angles, and Thibodeaux would be the perfect piece to complete that puzzle. You see, Thibodeaux is just 24 years old, standing tall at 6'5", and weighing around 258 pounds. He possesses top-tier athleticism, incredible burst, and a natural knack for getting to the quarterback. His upside is enormous, and in a system that can develop him further, he could become a perennial Pro Bowler. Pairing him with Sweat, who has already proven he can be the alpha pass rusher on this team, and Odeyingbo, who's been a steady presence, creates a trio that's not just good but downright terrifying for opposing offensive lines. And let's talk about the financial and draft capital aspect, because that's where the Bears really shine in this scenario. Unlike some blockbuster trades that might involve multiple first-round picks, like hypotheticals involving Micah Parsons or Trey Hendrickson, a deal involving Thibodeaux would be far more manageable. 3rd and 5th round picks in 2026 are a reasonable price for a player of Thibodeaux' potential. He's young, cost-controlled, and still ascending, which makes him a perfect fit for a team that wants to build both for now and the future. The Bears have the flexibility to extend him long-term if he proves to be the player they believe he can become, which makes this trade even more appealing. Now, I know some of you might wonder, is this realistic? Will the Giants actually part ways with a player like Thibodeaux? Well, that's the big question, isn't it? And the answer depends on how much both sides value what they currently have. For the Giants, acquiring young talent like Abdul Carter shows they're invested in the future, and giving up Thibodeaux might be a strategic move to clear some cap space or draft capital for other needs. For the Bears, this move isn't just about adding another pass rusher. It's about transforming the defense into a nightmare for quarterbacks. With Thibodeaux's athleticism and upside, Chicago could have a 3 or even 4-headed monster rushing the passer, making life miserable for offenses in the NFC North and beyond. Think about it for a second. The Bears' defense last season showed flashes of brilliance, but they lacked that consistent edge presence that can change games single-handedly. Adding Thibodeaux alongside Sweat and Odeyingbo would give them that game-changing talent they need to flip the script. It's a move that says, we're here to win now, but also we're building for the long haul. The NFC North is already competitive, with teams like the Lions, Packers, and Vikings investing heavily in their rosters. The Bears need to respond, and this kind of aggressive, forward-looking move could be the catalyst that propels them to the top. And let's not forget, this is all about the bigger picture. The Bears are clearly in a window of opportunity, especially if Justin Fields continues to develop and shows the flashes of greatness we've seen at times. The defense, with a few strategic additions, can be the backbone that carries them deep into the playoffs. Thibodeaux, with his age and upside, fits perfectly into that plan. Plus, Chicago has shown they're not afraid to make bold moves. Remember how they traded up for Fields? That's the kind of mentality that can define a franchise. So, as we look ahead to the upcoming season and beyond, this potential trade is something to keep an eye on. It's not just about acquiring a talented young pass rusher. It's about sending a message to the rest of the league that the Bears are serious about contending. Their roster is evolving rapidly, and the pieces are starting to come together. Fans can be excited because this isn't just talk, it's a strategic push to elevate the team into a true NFC powerhouse. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the question remains, will the Giants be willing to part ways with Thibodeaux? That's still up in the air, but if the price is right, and the Bears are willing to pay it, this could be one of the most exciting moves of the offseason. It's a trade that could reshape the NFC North, shift the balance of power, and potentially accelerate the Bears' journey back to the playoffs and beyond. The defense would be a nightmare for quarterbacks, and the team overall would send a clear message to the league. Chicago is back, and they're here to stay. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. This team is on the rise, and with moves like this, the future looks incredibly bright. Keep the faith, stay passionate, and let's keep pushing forward together because the best is yet to come for the Chicago Bears.